In this fifth episode on integers, let's have a look at some examples that include all four operations, including fractions, and most importantly, just how to look at each step and decide what to do next. And if we look at the first example, it does have a fraction line, and I keep reminding you that that fraction line actually means division. So let's always remember that. So what we actually have here is a whole lot of things being multiplied by each other and then subtracting 2. And at the bottom in the denominator, we've got a multiplication of two integers. So if you remember correctly, we always need to eliminate brackets first. So here we have brackets right next to each other, meaning multiplication. That minus 2 is standing on its own. It's not affected by a bracket. So don't be tempted to bring it into this situation here. So looking at the first part, where we've got negative, bracket, bracket, all of that needs to be multiplied together. And remember that when there's a negative in front of a bracket, it's actually meaning -1, but we don't worry to write it in. So to multiply these three things together, we're going to do signs first. Negative times positive is negative, and then negative times negative is positive. So I don't need to write a sign down. When we're multiplying by 1, the value doesn't change, so we don't even worry to say 1 times anything. 8 times 4 is 32. And then that minus 2 needs to be brought down because we haven't used it yet. And now we're going to try to work out the denominator. So here I've used a times sign instead of a bracket. Remember, they're interchangeable. That 2 has nothing in front of it, so it's automatically a positive. So we're going to say negative times positive is negative, and 5 times 2 is 10. I now need to simplify further. So 32 minus 2 is going to give me 30, which is being divided by -10. And so to finish off now, I simply need to say positive divided by negative is negative, and 30 divided by 10 is 3. Right, let's have a look at this one. In this situation, we've got two things being multiplied together, because when a number is right next to a bracket without a plus or minus sign in between, it means multiplication. Those two are also being multiplied together. So starting at the top in the numerator, negative times positive is negative. 3 times 6 is 18. This 4 is negative, and that 7 is negative. So negative times negative is positive, and 4 times 7 is 28. Going to the denominator, these two are being multiplied by each other, and that is completely separate. So we're going to start off with these two, multiplication. Negative times negative is positive. 5 times 4 is 20. And then we still have to bring the minus 10 down because we haven't used it yet. Negative 18 plus 28. If you've forgotten how to do that, go back to the second and third episodes to see the trick. Negative 18 jumping to the right hand side, so I'm going to take 18 jumps to get to 0. How many jumps do I have left over after that? I'll have 10 jumps left. And 20 minus 10 is 10, and anything over itself is equal to 1, simply because it means 10 divided by 10, which is going to give us 1. Let's have another look at, for example, negative 31 minus bracket -2, bracket -3, all over -5. So if we have a look at this example, we don't have any work to do in the denominator. So when we're working on the numerator, we just have to keep bringing the denominator down with us. The 31 isn't connected to any type of bracket, so it's just a constant 31 standing on its own. Here we've got an imaginary -1 again, just in case that confuses you. But basically, we need to work out the signs first. So we need to say negative times negative is positive. Positive times negative is negative. And then 2 times 3 is 6. My denominator is simple. I simply write down what it was. There's nothing to do to it. So let's carry on trying to simplify the numerator. 31 minus 6 is 25. Bring your denominator down again so that it's ready to be used. Remember that line means division. So positive divided by negative is negative, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. And the last one we're going to have a look at today is negative 6 bracket 4 bracket negative 2 bracket 2 all over negative 3 times 4. Right, so here we've got negative 6 being multiplied by 4 being multiplied by negative 2 being multiplied by 2. So this is just one long multiplication sum there. So let's work through our signs first. Negative times positive is negative. Negative times negative is positive. And as soon as we have a positive times a positive, we know that it's going to be positive. Working through the actual numbers, 6 times 4 is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. And 48 times 2 is 96. At the bottom, I've just got two numbers multiplied by each other. That is automatically a positive. Negative times positive is negative. 3 times 4 is 12. So to finish off, all I've got to do is say positive 96 divided by negative 12. Positive divided by negative is negative. And 96 divided by 12 is 8.